Alright, here's my hermit crab enclosure. Yours doesn't need to be as elaborate. I've just managed to accumulate a bunch of nice shit because I worked in pet stores. So, this is my saltwater pool. Yours doesn't need to be this big, but it does need to be aerated, and they need access to salt water. This is made using the stuff they use to make marine aquariums. I can give you a bunch of it. I've got a huge box, and the amount you'd need for your crabs would be nothing from what I have. So the sand bed needs to be very deep, and it needs to be made specifically out of play sand and eco earth. And the depth of the sand bed needs to be deep because they need to burrow to molt. And if they can't, and if they do a surface molt, that can lead to death. So if I was to grab a handful of this, it would be sandcastle consistency. It would stay in a clump, and that's so when they burrow, it doesn't cave in on them. And also, its constant wetness maintains moisture, which means bacteria that grow on it that actually break down the crab shit and everything, so it becomes bioactive. This tank will also be bioactive and break down anything that gets in it, as will their freshwater pool, which they also need, both to drink and to mix with the salt water in their shells for optimal health. And then whatever you give them to climb on is up to you. As long as it's safe for them, which is a lot of things, you're good. I just happen to have a lot of natural beach rock and driftwood that I've obtained over the years. And here you see Hermes chilling right there. And we got Hercules in the corner here. And also, the top is 100% sealed. And the reason that we have the sealed top is because we don't want them escaping. They're very, very strong. They will push right through the tops, and they can climb the silicone. Believe it or not, they can. And so you don't want to lose your crabs that way. And also it's sealed because humidity is the #1 thing when it comes to crab care. The reason the butt bullers are in these pools, the reason the sand is damp, and the secondary reason the tank is sealed is to hold in the humidity. Because crabs do not breathe air. They do not breathe water. They breathe humidity. And that's why all the crabs are suffocating, because they need incredibly humid environment, like 80% or more humidity, in order to be able to breathe. So when your crabs finally get in a tank that we can seal up with moist substrate, it'll probably be like the first breath that they feel like they've taken since they were caught from the wild. And all of this seems complicated, but it's really not. And like I said, it's self-sustaining because it becomes completely biologically active. If I didn't need to feed these crabs, I could leave this tank sealed for months and never have to touch it. Very low maintenance. They just require specific things. And the reason you want at least a 29 gallon, and this is a 37 tall, which is similar, just shorter, but taller. It's taller than the 29. The 20 long is going to come to about here, and you see with all this stuff in it how little room there'd be for you to actually see your crabs moving around. That's why you want to get the 29. So you have the height to have both the deep sand bed and enough room for you to actually enjoy your crabs. And I can get you that kind of tank for cheap as shit.